Hi friends, come with me to Sao Paulo, Brazil, one of my favorite cities in the whole world. One of the main reasons I love Sao Paulo so much is for its nightlife. It has so many neighborhoods with totally different vibes. Each neighborhood is like visiting a new city. The amount of places with amazing cocktail bars, places for dancing, live music, electronic music, and basically anything that is your thing, you can find it here in quality and in abundance. On this particular trip, I am 6 months pregnant, so this video will focus strictly on food. And that's okay, because this monstrous city is truly a food paradise, thanks to its cultural diversity, its size, and the many different diasporas that have made the city their home. Sao Paulo is home to the largest Japanese population outside of Japan. So if you can't make it to Tokyo, Sao Paulo is your second best option for authentic Japanese food. If you have seen any of my videos, you know that Japanese food is my king, my queen, and the ruler of my food-obsessed heart. So let's start this food tour in my favorite neighborhood, Liberdade, the Japanese neighborhood. The streets are lined with red torii gates and red lights which make the streets look super picturesque at night. Today, Liberdade is not strictly Japanese. Many other Asian cultures have moved into the area. You can find everything from Thai, Vietnamese, Korean, to very niche and regional Chinese cuisines. The streets are filled with huge Asian supermarkets, and one of my favorite things about this neighborhood is the way that life exists beneath the surface. From the outside, it may seem like a normal street with commerce, but often the most authentic restaurants are hidden on the second floor of public parking garages, or somewhere random and out of sight like the basement of a massage parlor. It's normal that you can't find any of these restaurants on Google Maps or that they don't have a Portuguese name, so it's really word of mouth. You won't be able to find them unless someone guides you to them. This time, we visited Liberdade to try something a bit more mainstream, but an authentic ramen is always my top priority. Ikkousha Ramen is a Japanese chain that recently opened in Sao Paulo. I tried a few other ramens during the trip, but this was the only one that I can really fully recommend. If you are a ramen lover, you can find a real authentic one at Ikkousha Ramen. My family knows how much I love tropical fruits, and I'm always welcome with a beautiful basket. Also, a huge bowl of mousse de maracujá, passion fruit mousse, is the best welcome home treat. If you have access to fresh passion fruit and you want to learn how to make it, I'll leave the recipe in the description. Okay, so one of my obsessions in terms of tropical fruit is the chirimoya. That's how we call it in Spanish, and in Portuguese it's called atemoya. If you haven't tried this, next time you are somewhere tropical, make sure you look for it and give it a try. This next restaurant is a Sao Paulo classic, a steak restaurant that has been around for decades. You can see and smell the history as soon as you walk in. It has all the classic Brazilian dishes, and the best part is that the kitchen stays open until 3 a.m. This old school cafeteria is known for its steak, specifically the bisteca de boi, but there are so many things on the menu that if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you can still get. My favorites are the polenta fries, the banana milanesa, and just an order of palmito. For dessert, you can never go wrong with creme de mamão, which is a fresh papaya pudding. It is a classic and so delicious. This is my first trip to Brazil in over a decade, where I am no longer a strict pescatarian. Although it is still a small part of my diet, traveling is the time I enjoy trying anything and everything that is served on a plate. Having said that, it was time to visit some of the meat-focused restaurants that have been on my radar for a long time. A Casa do Porco is a São Paulo institution, holding the spot as the top 12th best restaurant in the whole world according to the world's 50 best restaurants. They are well known for their commitment to affordable, high-quality food, with a tasting menu priced at around $40 and sandwiches as cheap as $3 each. They really aim to make their food accessible for everybody. I got to try pork cheek sushi, which was totally new to me. Then came their signature mains, the Porco asanze, which is roasted for 8 hours in a special wood-fired churrasquera. And then just your classic pork schnitzel. For dessert, we got an assortment of goiaba and cheese platter. Everything was delicious. Half of our family lives in Rio, so we had to take a few days to visit and hit the beach. Rio is nowhere the foodie city as São Paulo, but there are still a few classics we love to visit. Let's start off with beach food. The simple yet oh so traditional queijo de coalho. It is firm, it is salty, it is lightweight, it is elastic. They grill it over hot coals, cover it in oregano, and drizzle some honey on top. This is nostalgia on a stick from when I used to live here as a child. The beaches are all lined up with botecos or postos, which are basically like beach bars, and it seems like every family have their favorite. We stopped at La Carioca en la Playa, which is a Peruvian gastropub specialized in ceviche and seafood. This was already our second week in Brazil, and we had not yet had a classic feijoada. Aurora has been around for over 100 years, specializing in Brazilian and Portuguese food. This is a great family spot with all of the Brazilian classics. We happened to be in Rio on the day of the Libertadores final between Boca Junior and Fluminense. So we rushed home right after the meal before the chaos that would inevitably explode on the streets. Back in Sao Paulo, we still had some fun activities and many more restaurants to check off the list. You can't visit Sao Paulo without exploring Parque Ibirapuera. It's basically the central park of the city. It is massive, it is full of lush vegetation, a lot of space for exercise, and museums and planetariums you should definitely check out. Okay, but now back to the food. Halim is one of Sao Paulo's favorite Lebanese restaurants. It opened its doors in the early 70s by the Halim family, who immigrated from Lebanon. This place serves the most comforting food. One of my favorite dishes are the cabbage beef rolls. But what really takes the prize are the dips. You can get a trio of the hummus, baba ganoush, and lebne, but the lebne will really take you straight to heaven. This Izakaya is one of those places that transports you. Especially now after my dream trip to Japan earlier this year, I walked in and I felt like I was back in an izakaya hidden in a dark alleyway in Tokyo. Their menus are all written in Japanese, filled with pictures and cute little cartoons. These are literally the places that I live for. We got some braised pork belly, fried squid, and of course, some shrimp dumplings. This place is a gem, so make sure to go early so you're not standing outside with the crowds waiting for a table. Alright, this next stop is possibly my favorite of the whole trip. The first thing you notice when you walk in is that the restaurant is beautiful. It feels like you're entering a residential home, decorated with stunning photography depicting the origin of their ingredients. They are also quite well known for their cocktails, as they hold an impressive collection of cachaças. We tried a little bit of everything, but what makes Jiquitaia special is that it brings traditional Brazilian food from all across the country under one single roof. The chef even uses some European classics, yet incorporating traditional Brazilian ingredients, such as in one of their most popular dishes, which is arroz de pato no tucupi, which takes a Portuguese classic and gives it an Amazonian twist with the addition of tucupi, which is a sauce extracted from the cassava root. After asking about an ingredient I did not recognize, the waiter was so nice to bring me a few jambu flowers, which is a plant they use in their cuisine, which numbs your mouth when you bite it. Yes, I can confirm it really does. We are proud to have family with a long and thriving career in the Sao Paulo Symphony Orchestra. And so no trip is ever complete without watching them play. No visit to any Latin American metropolis is complete without visiting the Central Market. City markets are possibly my favorite places. This is where you can take in the soul of the city through all of your senses. Okay, but do you have any idea how many shops exist across the Latin world with this same name? We do this in Mexico too, and it has never made any sense to me. This literally translates to happy pork, which is clearly not happy because he has been butchered. And there's also happy chicken, happy cow, and so on. Why do we insist on the pig being happy after he's been killed? So this shop does sell a ton of different kinds of meats, which was very interesting. I wonder how popular these meats actually are. But apart from meats, you can find all other sorts of things, like this salted cod, a bunch of different kinds of spices from around the country. But my all-time favorite is, of course, the fruit stands. There are so many beautiful tropical fruits that I cannot get where I currently live, and it's just so much fun to try everything. They also do all kinds of experiments where they kind of grow one fruit with the other. For example, this is a hybrid of maracuja and lime. The Mercado is a great place to be at when you're hungry. Our mission here was to grab fresh maracuja juice and pastéis de palmito. But some cod croquettes crossed our path and we had to get some of those too. There are a lot of different vendors and restaurants, all of them serving mostly the same menu. These fried snacks are really delicious. I love them so much. But I have to say, we were shocked at how expensive the market has gotten. It really feels like it has become more of a tourist attraction than a place that caters to the masses, which is not really what a city market is supposed to do. But if you've never been, it's still really worth the visit. This next place needs no introduction, since it has become an internationally known chain offering top quality Brazilian churrasco. An all-you-can-eat meat menu does not make much sense for me, as I only consume small amounts. So to cater to every possible diet, they actually have a stunning salad bar with so many amazing goodies. From cured fish to pasta salads to every salad topping under the sun to even a feijoada bar. So if you're a vegetarian or pescatarian, it's still so worth the visit. To wrap up this video with a massive cherry on top, we managed a lunchtime reservation at D.O.M. D.O.M is Brazil's first ever 2-star Michelin restaurant and the flagship restaurant of the renowned chef Alex Atala. However, this meal was way too epic not to have its own video. So go check out the short vlog I made about my experience. Overall, this has been the most food-focused trip I have ever made to Brazil. And it seems we have barely scratched the surface of Sao Paulo's booming restaurant scene. There were also many places we visited which I did not include on this list, simply because they just didn't make the cut. So you can trust that I have vetted and I highly recommend all of the places in this video. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next food adventure.